All right, let's talk about Gavin Newsom's unconstitutional masks ban. What? I want to break this down just for you here and show you a couple clips and actually give some commentary about why I think this is actually exciting because let me show you. Homeland Security says, to be clear, we will not comply with Gavin Newsom's unconstitutional mask ban. At the time that ICE law enforcement agents face 1,000% increase in assaults and their family members are being doxxed and targeted, the sitting governor signed an unconstitutional legislation that strips law enforcement and protections in disguising diabolical fundraising and a PR stunt. So let's just take a quick listen here.
I'll be signing a bill, the first in the nation, saying enough. To ICE, unmasked. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of?
And here's what the acting U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California, Bill Asaley, said. The state of California has no jurisdiction of the federal government. If Newsom wants to regulate our agents, he must go through Congress. I've directed our federal agencies that the law signed today has no effect on our operations. Our agents will continue to protect their identities. When can we expect California to pass a law banning Antifa members from wearing masks while committing state and federal crimes? I'll wait. I guess safe to say that federal authorities are not going to abide by this California law.
Yeah, we will not be complying. It's unconstitutional. And by the way, why do ICE law enforcement wear masks? Not only are they facing a 1,000% increase in assaults against them, largely because of the rhetoric of these politicians, likening them to the Gestapo, to the Nazis. This law, in fact, was called the No Secret Police law. Why is that? Because they're likening our ICE law enforcement to Nazis. What did Americans do in the Second World War? We went to war with the Nazis and we killed the Nazis. That is what Gavin Newsom is doing. He's giving a permission slip and he's encouraging violence against our ICE law enforcement officers. It's despicable. And I do think it's worth mentioning that just an hour before this press conference, him and his team issued a threatening post against Secretary Noem.
Hey, what was that all about?
It seemed very menacing. And I think it was pretty disturbing to see. I'm glad on both sides, from the left and the right, that we've seen condemnation of that statement. But it's really inappropriate, especially in the current political environment where we're seeing so much violence. It has to stop.
All right, so let me just shed some context here. In the mainstream context, as you watch something like this, it looks like complete insanity. You think, what really, like, come on, this guy is the same guy that was telling everyone, he was ordering regular citizens to wear a mask and saying, if you don't wear a mask, you can't go and do regular activity. You can't even be outside without a mask. He was saying that I had to wear a mask to walk down the street. And then I was, going into a restaurant, anywhere I wanted to go. I tried to go into Rite Aid many times. They said, you can't come in here. And then one time they tried to arrest me for not wearing a mask. This is the same guy. Now that's just to shed some context. Now, I'm not in any way upset about this. Why? Because it's absolutely clear as day that this is part of the special operation. Why? Come on, this is like absolutely comical. There's no possible way that this guy cannot be part of the operation and this just be an act, because it's shining the light on the whole mask thing right now is what it's doing. Now it's saying ICE agents shouldn't be allowed to wear a mask, but everybody in 2020 and Antifa, they can wear a mask and they can break into buildings. I mean, think about how insane that is, right? So it's obviously part of the operation to help wake people up, part of the special operation to help wake people up and clearly shed light on the entire insanity of California. So don't get caught up in the anger or the frustration of this, even whichever side you're on, because it's incredibly frustrating if you don't understand there's a psychological military operation going on to get rid of this cancer, inside our government, right? The deep state inside our government. There's a clear operation for that. So if you don't understand that, then this is frustrating as heck, because you think that, oh my gosh, we're not going to get anywhere. We got Gavin Newsom and he's doing these terrible things. But once you start to understand we're under laws and orders, and Dwight D. Eisenhower, he expanded the power of the presidency in the 1950s, and now we're living under this, 45-47. It's clearly an operation right now going on to eliminate this cancer that's been basically taking away our freedoms for the last, since the 14th Amendment. All right. So yeah, this is comical. Don't consider it any way negative. I consider this a good thing because it's just going to raise the elevation, the mindset of the people in this great awakening in California that we're under right now. By the way, I just felt 2 earthquakes here in California. So are these actual earthquakes? I felt one this morning and then one in the San Francisco Bay Area up in the East Bay. So are these up in freaking military bases underneath, way down on the ground? Are they actual earthquakes? I wouldn't doubt if there's some explosions going on deep under the ground. That just makes no sense to have 2 earthquakes like that. They both felt the same. One this morning, one now. I don't know. Let's keep our fingers crossed that they're nothing more than just some explosions happening underneath the ground. But yeah, that's it. The insanity is nothing more than a special operation. Hit the ones. My name's Gavin. I'll see you at the top.